Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. Well, this has never happened before. We had a whole opening routine ready to go, and then everybody got sick. Malcolm, Heather, Jim, all of them came down with a virus going around. Not that they weren't preparing. We had a new Kermit the Frog puppet ready to go and a bunch of other props, but everybody came down with something. So, I'm entertainment reporter supposed to be Heather, and I'm here on the set of the new Muppet Show with its host, Kermit the Frog.
Hello, supposed to be. It's nice to have you here.
I understand, Kermit, you're having celebrity guests you've worked with before.
That's true, supposed to be. In fact, we have... Sean Combs?
Yeah, I'm realizing why this won't work. Let's just go with the review. It's no secret, the Muppets have gone back and forth between being popular and unpopular, and honestly, for an IP that's been around since the 50s, it's pretty impressive they've stayed as relevant as they have. The core of the Muppets seems to be three things: the likable characters, the unique puppetry, and the self-aware writing. The best Muppet projects utilize all that, but in the 90s, there were two films that focused on somewhat faithful adaptations. Muppet Christmas Carol became a classic for many, and Muppet Treasure Island is a bit more complicated. It did well when it came out, but it's not really talked about as much, and they never did another big screen adaptation afterwards. The reception was also kinda mixed, with some people liking the swashbuckling adventure, and others have found it not awful, just underwhelming. Now, to be honest, I was one of those people that found it underwhelming. There was plenty of good stuff in it, but the addition of the Muppets didn't really breathe enough new life into it like Christmas Carol did. It honestly just felt like a longer, more expensive Muppet Show sketch with just a bit more heart thrown in. I'll be honest though, I haven't seen it since it came out, and it seems to have gotten a pretty decent following over the years, just not as big as Christmas Carol. So I wanted to go back 30 years later to see if this is as charming as fans say it is, or if it's still an aimless shipwreck. Because it's not like there's a ton of other Muppet adaptations we can talk about. Christ, haven't I been through enough? Let's take a look at Muppet Treasure Island. The film starts on a literal high note as they have, honestly, kind of a badass opening number. Shiver my timbers, shiver my bones, yo-ho-ho-ho. As cool as the songs by Barry Mann and Cynthia Whale are, I will admit a lot of what probably makes them sound so good is Hans Zimmer's orchestrations. It doesn't matter if it's Bruckheimer pirates or sock puppet pirates, he's giving the exact same amount of effort.
And when free and ready sail the sea, you can get your boots, they'll be treachery.
But do not forget your arch nemesis, Murray.
The story of buried treasure is told by Billy Bones, played by Billy Connolly. Finally, proper representation of Billy playing a Billy, who's good friends with a young boy who works at the inn named Jim Hawkins, played by Kevin Bishop, who's also friends with two other servants, Gonzo and Rizzo.
Sailing the 7 seas on a 5-year mission, boldly going where no man has gone before.
Maybe your franchise fighting for relevancy shouldn't reference other franchises fighting for relevancy.
Boys, when you're finished here, you can go and clean up in the kitchen. I left some table scraps in there for your supper.
Jennifer Saunders plays the owner, Mrs. Blooveridge, who I kinda go back and forth on. Like Christmas Carol, there's not that many humans or celebrities in this, and when they are on screen, they play their roles, for the most part, pretty straight. Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. Saunders is the only one really going over the top for laughs, similar to, like I said, an extended Muppet Show sketch, which can confuse the tone a bit.
Lunchtime special, roast suckling, potatoes.
But on the other hand, she is incredibly entertaining to watch.
You forgot to put out the lantern. If you forget that again, there'll be no table scraps for a week.
She's like if Grimer Wormtongue was Mrs. Doubtfire. It's pretty great. The sets can be enjoyably exaggerated and distorted too, which often distracts from how exposition-y Jim's dialogue is half the time.
I should just run off to sea like my father did. He was my age when he sailed to China as a cabin boy. He rounded up a first mate. I'm an orphan, I've got no family.
Sheesh, Rizzo, does he have the disease from Memento? Why does he tell us this every night? And honestly, I know this kid is trying, but the script writes Hawkins way too generic.
I wish my life were more like one of Captain Bones' adventures, sailing the high seas and searching for buried treasure.
It makes me realize more how much effort they put into his character in Treasure Planet because, man, he sounds like the swashbuckling version of the kids from Reefer Madness.
Navigating with my father's old compass to wherever the wind may take us. Yeah, to the southwest. Pirate galleons.
How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night.
Don't worry though, his singing voice is...
And is it a curse I'm under to do it till I die?
something.
My future looks like nowhere that I want to be. I'll put my courage to the test.
Kane's leaning back saying, not too bad anymore, am I? But there's a knock at the door and a blind pirate with 2 eye patches. Yeah, alright, it's a pretty good joke. Gives Billy Bones the black spot, which is a pirate's death sentence. Fearing his time is at an end, he gives Jim the map to find the buried treasure he discussed earlier.
Beware!
The one-legged man.
But also running with scissors. It's all good fun till somebody loses and
That line is so stupid, but saying it as passionately as Mutiny on the Bounty kinda makes it work. Other pirates break in, they partake in honestly pretty standard Muppet slapstick, but it works alright. Jim escapes and tries to put together a crew to go after the treasure, and I don't know about you, but I had no idea what this guy was saying the first time I saw this.
The squire's in long Nedry for the grouse season. His rich off with son young squire Trelawney is here.
Alright, who hired Brian Cox's drunk double? Fozzie is there to authenticate the map. Sort of.
Mr. Bimbo lives in my finger. He's very smart. He's been to the moon. Thank you. Twice.
It's just like pictures in a book, Andy.
And he ends up financing the voyage, complete with hecklers.
Here we are stuck on the front of this stupid ship. Well, it could be worse. We could be stuck in the audience.
You know, I do wonder how much all of these wouldn't exist without these two. Jim's introduced to the only human Muppet in the movie, the ship's cook named Long John Silver, played by Tim Curry.
look what a cannibal took off me.
It probably goes without saying, he steals the show. And this is a character who has a shoulder lobster next to him half the time. Curry brings his usual charm of going back and forth between being legit believable and hamming it up like crazy. With a character like Silver though, especially Silver in a movie starring Muppets, it is absolutely the perfect tone. Silver is supposed to have a lust for life even though he's technically the villain. And you can't pretend Tim Curry doesn't master all of that.
Oh, that?
But it's also amazing when they introduce the captain being Kermit the Frog. Curry acts like he's been waiting to take orders from an amphibian all his life.
Mr. Silver? All right, Captain. I want you to take the crew ashore at once.
To the task to my liking, sir. That it is.
Like much of his acting, it works in a self-aware level, but also in the context of the film. And I'm still not goddamn sure how he always accomplishes that. He is literally just making random sounds right now, and it doesn't seem out of place. Also, I know the puppetry in this is good, but this little bit here seems exceptionally good.
Help yourself.
Thank you. Yahoo! Oh, yes.
Think about every precise motion that had to go into that one shot. Am I crazy or was that weirdly impressive?
But I thought sailors had talking parrots as pets.
Parrots.
What's next? A singing, dancing mouse with his own amusement park?
Well, they'll regret that line. Jim notices Silver's leg is missing, but a guy like this can't be suspicious.
Well, this is shaping up to be a fine voyage, lads. Oh, yes indeed.
Literally any character named Doom is less suspicious than this guy.
I just know I was born to live the life my father lived.
Oh my god, can we bunch up castrated Oliver?
Our mates will always be just like a family.
Tim Curry really is cinematic bacon. You add him to anything, it's improved. There's a few good jokes, like the roll call involving a ton of people's weird pirate names.
Old Tom. Aye, aye. Real old Tom.
Aye.
Dead Tom.
Aye, aye.
Big fat ugly bug-faced baby-eating O'Brien.
Aye.
Fun fact, Tim Curry played that part too. And I know it's gonna sound weird, but Kermit as the captain is surprisingly a good choice. I originally thought he'd be better as Jim Hawkins despite the age of the character, or I don't know, maybe get a younger version of Kermit, or maybe not, I don't want that. But while he obviously has the kind, gentle humor down, he actually achieves the weight of authority as well.
I'm hoping you're willing to give me the map now.
I'd rather not, sir.
I hoped it wouldn't come to this, Jim, but as captain, I order you to give me the map.
And as captain, I order you to stop this from getting greenlit. Curry, again, as unsuspicious as possible, tries to get on Hawkins' good side.
Such matters are best suited to Captain Smollett.
Come on, Long John, you could captain this ship.
Maybe someday I will.
Now Not since Padme said Anakin would be a good babysitter if I felt so trusting. The weather at sea starts to drive the crew mad, starting the song that doesn't really do anything for me, but I guess everybody who grew up with it loves the hell out of.
We got cabin fever, we lost what sense we had. We got cabin fever, and we're all going mad.
Alright, I can accept this as an our generation spam sketch. Silver tricks Sam Eagle to inspecting the lifeboats literally at sea to make sure they work okay.
Cast me off, Mr. Silver.
Is there anything I can hold for you?
My keys, of course.
It's a funny bit, but I realize I have never seen the legs of this character, and it kind of disturbs me. It looks like what they did to that person at the end of Freaks, just something about it doesn't seem right. Silver takes the keys and uses it to set his pirate pals free, allowing them to get the map and kidnap Jim to go get the treasure.
We're nothing but murdering pirates.
Pirates!
Pirates.
Whenever they make a biopic of this guy, I hope we have the technology to make every internet meme in the world play him. Silver sings a song about being a pirate, and even when he's not singing, somehow he still has to be the center of attention.
You'll cruise the foreign shores.
Sing it, lads!
Your mind
Show him you've been practicing!
I'm not complaining. But Kermit and the others arrive to rescue Jim, however, they get captured themselves.
Howdy, fools, stinky froggy man and friends. I am
Okay, I take it back. This is this generation spam sketch. The tribe's queen appears, who of course is Miss Piggy, showing up way too late into the movie. Like, okay, I know there's not a lot of women in the story, but Baby Barf or whatever her name is got a scene, so why not work her in earlier? It turns out her and Kermit used to be an item. I guess he didn't pay child support. While elsewhere, Jim is forced to lead the pirates to the treasure. But all the chests are empty and the pirates blame Silver.
Run, lad! Save yourself!
Why are you doing this for me?
Because I like you, boy.
Hey, we got enough troubled celebrities on the Muppets list. We don't need another. Jim makes a run for it as back at the tribe we're given probably my favorite fourth wall break.
Well, how else do you think we were going to get him in this movie?
Are you telling me he would not make a good Longs of John's a Schmilver? Jim finds the others pretty quick and attempts to save them just as Silver gets himself captured.
Give it to him.
Yeah.
But, it's not even his birthday.
Do I want to know what that's about? No, I don't. He's given a black dot on one of the pages of the Bible. Curry uses his usual curriness to get himself free.
Fall down on your knees!
Oh, please forgive us.
You're forgiven.
And let's go find the treasure!
Maybe I'm starting to understand more why people believe Trump's obvious lies, because if this guy told me he had the biggest inauguration of all time, I'd be like, yes, you did! And Jim finds Sam still testing the lifeboat. I gotta admit, I laughed pretty hard at that callback.
By the way, that silver fellow may not be trustworthy.
Oh, I don't know. I trust him to play every role in this movie, and I think it'd actually be more entertaining.
I was on a ship headed for Zanzibar. I got cold feet.
We find out Kermit left Piggy at the altar, which, okay, I know they're technically playing different characters, but that feels a little weird for them at this point. And he tries winning her over.
After you jilted me, I took up with this Bernie Flint.
You and Captain Flint?
Well, he was a pirate, I was a lady. You know the story.
The fact they tried to put 2 slugs in my skull only made me want him more. The pirates meet up with our lovebirds, and it turns out she had a fling with Silver as well.
Hello, Long John.
We know exactly why she said his name that way. Her tribe tries to stop the pirates, but they don't get very far.
We see you have boom boom sticks. Bye-bye.
Shop S-Mark.
Piggy admits she took the treasure and tells them where she hid it, resulting in them leaving our heroes to hang around. I'll admit the song isn't my favorite, but having them sing it upside down while Curry does his evil laugh does make it a touch entertaining. I guess I have to have respect for a love song that ends with a blood-curdling scream. Hawkins makes the crew think the ghost of Sam has returned and they all flee. They even manage to save Kermit and Piggy. What crew are left have a big sword fight with little to no footwork being shown.
Watch out, Mr. Arrow! Aren't you supposed to be fighting against us?
I love you guys.
Really built up that payoff. God, I love how Curry doesn't need a witty comeback to make him cool. All he needs to do is laugh.
Why don't you pick on somebody your own size, huh?
One of these days I'll find something wrong with him. Kermit looks like he might lose, but the rest of the crew come to his aid, leading to, again, some good lines.
Kill Jim and you'll have to kill me.
Kill Gonzo and you'll have to kill me.
Kill Squatch Trelawney and you'll have to negotiate strenuously.
The day seems to be saved as Silver surrenders, but I love they completely forgot they handed him the keys.
I suppose you'll be blowing the whistle on me now, won't you, Jim?
I have to return to Bristol to stand trial.
You know what? That laugh was so cool. You can go free. You deserve it.
We'd have made a great team, Jim!
He does let him go in a bittersweet farewell, though I do find it odd that Kermit was there watching him.
Well done, Jim. Your father would be proud.
Oh, of course, he took mercy on a pirate that ended up killing him, but somewhere in there he might be happy. They follow through on an earlier joke, as wouldn't you know it, Sam found that lifeboat to be quite unsafe. There's no way he made that. He's totally dead.
Where to, Captain Hawkins?
To wherever the wind may take us.
To this awkwardly slow final shot. Did they think they had the ending to The Searchers? Why did that shot take so long? And that was Muppet Treasure Island. It's about how I remember it. But okay, I will admit, I do look at it a little differently, imagining myself as a kid watching this. I don't think I would love the film, but I think I would find it alright. There's some good laughs, it's telling a classic story, and of course, Tim Curry is the real treasure we discovered along the way. As an adult, though, the real issue lies in it either needed more heart or more humor. Christmas Carol worked because it had just the right amount of both. Thus, a lot of kids are introduced to the story through the film, and it doesn't feel off. It's not a bad introduction for kids. The idea of kids being introduced to Treasure Island through this doesn't feel insulting by any means, it just feels unfulfilling. Even though Muppets were in Christmas Carol, you can still see why that would be a great story told years later, even the Muppets weren't in it. I wouldn't see why this was such a great story if this was my introduction to it. But again, it's not like it didn't capture any of the charm or heart of the original tale, or in the Muppets' comedic timing. I do think there's an audience of younger people out there, and probably people who grew up with it, that probably find it, okay, not buried treasure, but just charmingly hammy enough in all the right ways. I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Pirates.